Hello all, today we are running shipyards in the game, that's right, Shipyard. Now this is the second edition and it's pretty much the same game with just a revised look. Now we're building ships, adding equipment, crew and taking them for a shakedown on those canals to get maximum points. And if you like rondels folks, then this is the game for you. Now this one's medium to heavy complexity, plays 1 to 4 in about 40 to sort of 120 minutes, probably a little bit higher on those bigger player counts. And we can see the designer and publisher. Okay, we are off to build some ships. Okay, today's run through is set up for 3 players. Now, these are the player boards. These are your shipyards, and they're rather large, so I can't fit all 3 of these in the camera view. So I've got a side camera set up just here. You can see the yellow players, and we've got 6 money to begin with. We've got one of these commodity tokens with one of each of the commodities, and we've got our ship there. Now, we're going to be building our ships at the bottom here. They're going to be shimmied up to the top here, and they're going to go on a shakedown across these, hopefully, these canals we're going to be renting there. So what have we got? We've got a lot going on here. So this is where the actions are going to occur. Now, in a 3-player game, this particular action, the subsidy, is blocked off, and that's for 4 players there. We're going to have 5 rounds plus the cube in this kind of cog here that's going to spin around and dictate how many turns are in a round. Up here, we've got some information as to the speed of our ships. And then the rondel within a rondel within a rondel, those famous rondels then. So what have we got? We've got employees on the outside as this one moves around. We have got the commodities just on the inner rondel, and the white rondel we've got the equipment, and then we've got the crew members in the middle, and I'll show you how to attain all of those shortly. We've got loads of ship pieces here. We've got the front of the ships, we've got the middles, and we've got the ends of the ships as well. We've got some commodities we can purchase here, and we've got these canals we can rent with the victory point track just there. So what we're trying to do then, we're trying to build these ships at the bottom, and we're taking them out for a run to score loads of points, and depending on what equipment we have. So here's some of the equipment here. We've got crane, we've got sails, we've got smokestacks, and we've got some cannons here as well. So we're trying to add those to our ships, as well as these crew members. We've got stokers, business people, soldiers, and captains, which are a must. You need a captain on your ship. And we're trying to score a load of points. And at the end of the game, we'll be adding on some of these government contracts as well. So you start with 3 of each colour, and you'll whittle those down as you go through the rounds. You can see as this spins round, it's going to kind of fall into a recess. And when that happens, we take one of those cubes off, and there's 2 points in the game. Depending on the player count, you're going to be removing some of these. So you'll only end up with 1 of each colour. You're trying to score for some juicy points then. So I've got a lot of stuff out of camera view as well. We've got this lovely construction here with all our ship pieces that are going to come into play. Now the game can either end when these 5 rounds are up and you go once more rounds, a final turn, and then you get a chance to build a ship if you need it. And that's how the game can end. Or if you can't put any more of these ship pieces out, it'll trigger the game end as well. So that is just out of view. We've got this as well with all our components, which is really nice, all our equipment and crew there. So diving straight in then, what are we going to do? So we've got our actions. The opening round is literally placing your cube out. And you only get 1 cube in a 3-player game. And let's just say yellows are up first. So we're going to pick one of these actions. What shall we show you? So let's go and build some ship parts then. So we head over to this action, and we can take between 1 and 3 of these ship parts. Now you can see we've got this column from 0 all the way up to 2, and that is the cost if you decide to grab one of these. So let's go and grab this one here, and that's going to cost us 0. Let's go and get the front of a ship. And I'm quite happy with this one here as well. We've got a cabin. So you replenish straight away. So you bring all these down and you go and grab some more from this thing here. So we've got another frontage. And you can see we've got 1s and 2s. You go through all the 1s first, and then you go into the 2s. It's just to give you a bit of distribution amongst what's there. So we're going to add these then to our shipyard here. Now, there's a few things you can and can't do. you have to have these in a position, because once you lay them there, they're fixed. You can't then move them. So they have to kind of be in legal position. So you could never have the front of a ship sort of over here, because, well, how are you going to complete it? Because a ship needs to have at least a front of a ship, a back of a ship, and at least one middle. So that would be a completed ship. Now you have to be mindful, because once you have this formation, a completed ship, it will be going at the end of your turn up here for a shakedown. And if you haven't got a captain, or you haven't even got one of these canals here, well, you're going to score 0 points. So you don't want to complete this if you are not prepped. So, you know, that would be fine there. I'll just go and grab a few more tiles just to sort of give you an idea of what's illegal. You could have 2 of these here, because, you know, you're trying to maybe build this ship with a middle here, and then once that comes out, that's fine being there. Obviously, you couldn't have an end sort of there, because how are you going to complete it? You've got no space for a front and a middle. So yeah, you can have ships in preparation. You can have 2 ships that come out at once, and you pick which one. So yep, just be mindful as to where those go. So what did we have then? I think this was the tiles we took. Actually, I think it was a lifeboat. There we go. So we're going to pop that on the far left. I'm going to put this one here and my middle one there. And what have we actually got on these ship pieces then? So you can see the front has got a little lifeboat, which is great if we're trying to score lifeboats on any of these particular canals here. We've got a cabin, so we can store some of our crew members, except the stokers. They need to be going in one of these cabins here, which has got like a black background. You're hoping to get some of these mounts so you can fit on the actual equipment themselves. So you can see this crane, it has a sort of green base, so that goes on the mount there. That can't fit on one of these blue ones or the black ones, whereas the cannons go on the blue ones there. And you've got these smokestacks and sails, which sort of need to go on the black base there. So there's a few colours to match up and where the equipment can go. And the crew as well, this is literally all the crew. Now, a captain, your first captain can go anywhere, but any more are going to have to go in one of these white cabins. Your stokers, as I've just said, need to go in one of those black cabins, and your business people and your soldiers have to go in a white cabin. You can't just have them sort of dangling around on top of your ship there, unless you've got some game-breaking abilities with these employees, which we will come round to. Okay, so yellow have placed their token here for that action. Let's say pink are next then. Now, pink cannot go on a location that has someone else's tiles. They can't go here. Let's go and show you this one here. So this is attaining and recruiting your crew members. So you can see the rondelle in the middle. Now, every time you utilise a rondelle, you have to move the cube 1 clockwise. And then we can either take what's below it, which is a soldier, or we can pay to move this cube on. So maybe we want to pay, 1 money to move it here, or 2 money to move it there. We can go full circle and pay 3 money to get a captain. So we're on the soldier then. Let's just say we're going to pay 1 money, and that's out of camera view, and we're going to go and take a stoker. So purple have got a stoker, great. Over to blue then. Now, I forgot income. So any time you place your cube down for an action and there are opponents to the right of you, you're going to get a coin income for each one. So purple, well, pink should we call them, are going to get a coin there. Over to blue then. So they are going to go here. And this is where you're going to get some equipment from the rondelle. And they've got 1 player to the right. They are getting a 1 income. Excellent. And they move this track 1 forward clockwise. Now, do they want a cannon? No, they're going to pay 1 money to get a smokestack. So we're going to go and grab one of those, and they keep that in front of them. Now, you can see on your shipyard here for yellow, you stash sort of your money and all your commodities and anything you've acquired just on the side here, because once that ship does come into play, that is when you add your equipment and crew. You don't sort of add them as you're doing it, because you're committing them and you want to do that as soon as the ship is built. Okay, so everyone has played an action. So going clockwise, you just keep going clockwise. Now, that was the opening round. From now on, it was yellow. So you actually take the physical action. That's right. You pick it up. You take it to the furthest right, and you can see this cog will now move. Excellent. Now, yellow cannot pick the action they've just gone for. They can pick any of these actions. They can't go wherever players have previously been. But there is the chance to do what's called a bonus action. And you can spend 6 money either before you go or after to do one of these actions. So let's just say we do the action of our cube first. We're going to go here. And we're going to go and rent a canal. And these are the ones available. We've got from 0 to 2, that's the costs. And each one of these has got different icons on. Let's just grab a few to show you up close. So you can see this one here has got a, what's that, a cannon. So if we pass that, we potentially, thematically speaking, have an inspector who is looking at our ship on the shoreline and he's rating it based on how many cannons and soldiers we have. Now, the actual icons, they couldn't fit the iconography for the soldiers there, so that does include a soldier on your ship as well. A blue ribbon, so if you pass that, dependent on what part of your movement you're on, so the speed, so if you've got 5 movement and you hit that when you're at 3 movement, you're going to get 3 victory points. You got lanterns in, you can see on your ship, we've got 1 lantern, so we get 1 VP for that. We've got these life buoys, so a host of things on these, and it's kind of timing really as to when you hit certain things and what's on your ship to score some extra victory points from those inspectors. So we're going to go and grab one of these. We're just going to take this one at 0 cost. And we'll keep this here for now. Now, when you take a canal token, you shuffle them all down, you have to choose the orientation straight away. You can't then determine later on. So let's say we're just going to put it like that. And that was the yellow player, and they had no one to the right, so no income for them. Are they going to take a bonus action? Now, let's demonstrate that. They're going to spend 6 of their hard-earned money. And they're going to pick one of these actions, and they can pick any action, even if an opponent is there. So let's say they want to go and get a crew member. Now, they're looking at the rondel thinking, okay, it's going to move on to this business person. I really want a captain, but I got no more money. I've just spent all my money. So maybe they're going to go and raise some money. We're going to go to this action here, which is this rondel, where we get to exchange our commodities. Now, you start the game with this token here, so you've got 1 of each resource. So when you actually do a bonus action, you don't move your cube, you just say which one you're doing and you go and do it. So, and you don't move the tile either. So we're going to go and move this commodity one forward. Now, this is the only rondel, which kind of reminds you with the arrows, that you cannot pay to move forward. And we can now see we can sell these resources for 2 each. And if we don't want to take the money, there's actually sort of markets on the corner, should we call them? And you can trade in a coal here for one of these 2 items. So you've got a crew member, a stoker, and you've got the smokestack as well. Or maybe you want to go and grab, what have we got up here? A soldier and a sail or a cannon. And we've got a captain. And we've got a business person and a crane. Now, we were trying to go to this spot to get a crew member, the captain. And we kind of ended up going to use our bonus action on this one to exchange commodities to raise money to then maybe go and get that captain. But this is how you can mitigate some of the actions being blocked. We can actually spend our grain here to go and get a captain from this option. How great is that? So let's go and grab a captain. And that is our grain spent. So we'll keep this in the supply here. And we are now going to decide on what we're going to do with our textiles. Maybe we're going to go for a sail as well. Let's go and grab a sail. So we'll add that to there. And we've got the final one, a coal. Now, I think we need a little bit of money about us, even though I would really love to have this stoker. Okay, I'm going to go for the money instead. So we'll take 2 money. And this is this commodity used. We just discard that to the side. Okay, that was yellow's extra bonus action. Over to purple's then. Pinks, keep getting muddled. Okay, we're going to take this action, pop it along here. And what are we going to do? So we can't do this one, and we can't do those 2. Let's show you, we've shown you crew, we've shown you how to take the ship pieces. Let's go and hire an employee then. So this is the outer rondel. We move it 1 forward, and you can see this cube is now next to these 3 employees. There's a host of these, some of them, I'll grab these 3 just to sort of show you what we have got. So you can see here, this one, we can pay a coin, and every time we go to the rondel to recruit crew members, we're going to get an extra stoker. This one here, we are going to get a victory point. It's a level 1, and we're going to get extra money when we trade in those commodities there. And the same for this one. Now, some of these have level 2s, if I can find one. Here it is. You can't acquire the level 2s until you've got a level 1, so just be mindful of that. So we're going to go for the stoker option. I do like that one, and we're going to keep that up here to remind us that that is an ability we get to keep for the rest of the game, but we do have to pay a coin, and that should be on the pink shipyard rather than the yellow, which I've shown you. So they will pay a coin, done, and we replenish the employees as well. And you've got a stack of these. We sort of go into these 2s as well, which have variation, and over 2 blues. They're going to take this one here, shuffle this along, and what actions we got left? So this one, we're going to go and purchase a commodity. So income is going to be 1. They take their money, and we get to take one of these commodities here. Now you can see the costs again, 0 up to 2. We're looking at the exchange, and we can see if we go to utilize this spot, which is currently empty, on the next turn, if it's still empty, we're going to get free money for each grain, 3 for the textiles and 1 for the coal. So we're probably thinking we don't want coal. Maybe we want this one. We're going to pay 1 money, and then these all get pushed down, and we add a new one of those there. Oh, wow, free coal, but that's not worth a lot at the moment. But you can see as this queue comes round, you know, if we're here, you're going to get 4 money for each coal. Or maybe you just want to trade the coal in for some goods around the board. So that could be useful for getting stokers and the smokestacks as well. So we add that to our shipyard. Okay, where are we? We are over to yellows, I believe. So we literally just keep going. Now we are going to pick something. What have we chosen? We've used this one. I think we've shown you all of them now. Now you can see this cog is slowly rotating, and eventually it's going to fall into that recess, and I'll hopefully get to show you what happens then. So what do we need for yellows then? So they've got a captain, we've got a sail. Now, what are you aiming to achieve here? So you've got the speeds up here. Now, your ship completed is a speed of 1, or 1 movement. If you add a sail, it's going to gain you 1 speed. If you add a stoker, it's +1. And for every 2 of these smoke stacks, that's going to be 1 movement as well. Now, if you are uber efficient and you complete your ship with a stoker and a smokestack, that automatically is a 4 movement, and you can bolt on extras as well. So we've got this tile here, and I'm looking at it going, right, if I started here and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 movement, I could achieve all of these. Or maybe I just want to go for the blue ribbon, but it's not very valuable there. Or I could start on this cannon and move 3 spots. So maybe I want a speed of 3. At the moment, my speed, obviously once the ship's completed, I've got a sail, but I've got nowhere to mount it. So that is a speed. So I want a double mount really. And I can see there's a couple up here. There's one here. So maybe I want to go and get another sail, because then that'd give me a speed of 2. Also need a bit of money. So we're going to go and get some equipment. So we're going to go here. And it's frustrating because I could really do the income surpassing these players, because this one here is going to get me no income. This is going to move 1 forward, and I'm going to have to pay a coin to go 1 more. Is that the best option? Possibly not. Or maybe I take a contract and then on my future turn trade that in to get, you know, the sail from up here with a textile. And we're going to stick with that just to show you. Okay, so we've gone here, we've paid the coin, and we are taking an extra sail. Planning to get the right speed on here to get the sort of most victory points we can get. Over to pink there. We're going to move this forward. And where are pink going then? So let's go and trade in some commodities. So here we go. We're going to trade this one in. We move this one forward, and they're thinking, okay, I can get some good money for grain and textiles, but I need a captain. So they're going to trade their grain in for a captain, and they're equally going to go to the textiles. And so as well, don't forget your government contracts. So you can see these will give you some inspiration as to what you're hoping to achieve. So a bit of a close-up, this one here, you're only hoping to achieve one of these, and it might sway through the game how you're doing, but this one, the more business people you have, you're going to get more points. For each set of 2 sails on each of your ships completed, 3 points. For each set of these 3 equipment and crew, you're going to get 6 points. And then the red one's a size 5 ship. If you have multiple 5 ships, you're going to get more points. The number of life buoys and 7+ ships. So loads of things to think about there, and I'm not going to think too hard. So let's just go and get some money for the rest of these. So we spent the grain, and we've got a coal and textiles, which is going to get us 4 money. Boom, that's gone, 4 money. Over to, did they get income? They would have got income as well of 1. 2 for that, income of 2. So blue is up. And we're getting close to the end. No, nowhere near. Probably halfway through this round. They are going to get rent a canal. Okay, there's no one before them. That's no income. And we are going to take, which one do we like here? So let's go for this one. We're going to spend 1 money, acquire that, budge these down. And that was rent a canal. Back over to yellows. Okay, so we ideally need some money. We can just about do this. So we're going to go here. We're going to get 1 income. And we need to go and buy some ship pieces. So we really wanted this one here for 2 money. And are we going to buy any more? We'll just buy the one for now. Shuffle this down and get a new one out. So we're going to add this then to our shipyard. And we're going to pop it here. And that is perfect. We have completed a ship. Now, we're going to pop it up here, but before you do your shakedown, and you have to do a shakedown if a ship is completed, you have the option again to spend 6 money to do another action. But if you've got no bonus action, we're off to shakedown, so we pop it up here. Now we get to put our crew and our equipment on, and those will be fixed with this ship to the end of the game. You can't reuse them. So we're going to pop this sail there and this sail here, so they're mounted on. And we're going to put a captain anywhere. Now, it's a bit of a waste. We did have a spot to mount a crane and a cannon, and also a spare cabin for some crew. So we've been inefficient, but I just wanted to show you how this works. So firstly, we look at our speed then. So we can see at the top here, we're going to get 1 speed for the ship being complete. We've got 2 sails, so that's plus another 2, which is 3. We haven't got any stokers, and we haven't got any smokestacks, so our speed is 3. Now, we have this ship piece here, and we're going to decide where it starts, and we wanted it to start here. And it's important that the back of the ship is in the right direction as to where you have come from. It doesn't matter so much where you're going, because you'll see as you add more of these canals, you can go certain intersections, and there's certain choices to be made as to where you're going. So we're going to start here, and we're going to move 3 spots. So 1, 2, 3. Now we've passed this cannon, and that inspector is looking at our ship going, have we got any soldiers on there? No. Have we got any cannons? So we could have scored points for that. We've gone, landed on the blue ribbon. Now we hit the blue ribbon at a speed of 3. So we're going to get 3 victory points. Excellent. Now, sometimes you might find that you've got 2 blue ribbons. And if this was the case where we've got 2 here, and I'll get a bit of a closer up for you. Now, let's just say we'd started again. We had these 2 canals, and we hit a speed of 4. We'd go 1, 2, 3, 4. You'd ignore the first blue ribbon and score the second one at a higher victory point at 4. So, if that ever occurs, that's how you do that one. Okay, so we've got 3 victory points for that. We can see the back of our ship is pointing in the right direction, and we're now going to score points based on the board here for, firstly, crew. We've got 1 captain, excellent, 1 point. You wouldn't score points for your stokers. We're then going to score points for any cranes on there and the cannons. We haven't got any of them, so they would have been 2 points each. And then we're going to score 1 point for the amount of movement. So we move 3 spaces, we get 3 points. Okay, I think that's right. And that is it. Now, if we have had a speed of 4, we'd have been committed to this route, for example. If there was not enough room on a canal to run that ship and shake it down, we would have had no points. If we never had a captain, the instant that ship was completed, we would not have run that ship. We've had no points. And you would not have wanted to use your hard-earned equipment to put on there. You'd have just kind of popped it up here and it would have been a bit of a waste. So just be very mindful over the timing of when you complete these ships. And there we go. So we've got a completed ship at the top. So we leave this canal here, and you can bolt these on. So if we acquire more, we can choose to put that one there. So it gives us more space to shake down these ships. And as you move forward, you get rid of the old tiles and just sort of stack them up in case they score. And we just keep going. You sometimes get to intersections here, and you can pop this in. You can never change the orientation when you've laid these. And you can see it's important because you can see the back is here. Are we going to go this way or this way? And it just depends on what icons on your ships and what you're hoping to achieve. Okay, so that was yellows then. We've run a ship. We're over to, I think it's pink. So we're going to move that one. Did yellow get their income? I think they got one income. I can't remember. Okay, so I've shown you all the actions. I don't think I'm going to go too much longer, but pretty much you're going to carry on. They do the action. Blue goes up. Don't forget your bonus actions. They're going to choose this one. They might spend 6 money to do one of these other actions. Yellow is up, and eventually, here we go. The cubes is falling in this little hole here, and they'll do their action, and then what you'll do is move a cube from here and get rid of that. You're one round down. You can see once you get to this spot here of the line, in a certain player count, you're going to discard some of these government contracts. You'll get rid of one of each of these in a free player game, and you'll keep going eventually. And equally, at that point, once a cube enters a recess, if this last spot here furthest to the left is empty, you put a coin in it, which is why I've kind of left a coin here to remind me. So, let's say it was that, you put it on and it just entices people to use an action that might not be getting used. Okay, so this is going to count. You lift the cube out, you just lift this slightly, and you keep going. And eventually all these cubes are going to be gone. You will spin round one more time until this eventually goes back in the recess, and then you will give the player to the left their final turn, and everyone should have had an equal number of turns. And then eventually everyone will have a chance to do a final action. It doesn't matter where the cubes are. If you pick somewhere, an action where someone else's cube is, you'll all do a final action, and you'll have a chance to run any ships that are due to have a shakedown. If you're one piece missing, you have a chance to buy one of those as well. You're then going to look at your final government contracts that you have left. You should have just one of each. Score them up, add them to the points you've acquired through the game, and see who has the most points, with money breaking ties. And there we are. Enjoy.